GST. GST stands for Goods and Services Tax. Before we get deeper into this, let us understand what is meant by tax. All governments need money for their development initiatives, administrative activities, and for giving salary to the employees and host of other initiatives. They need money. How do they get money? Now, whenever an individual, that is individual or company, earn an income, then a percentage of the income goes to government. Whether it's an individual or whether it's a company, an organization, when it earns an income, portion of that income goes to government. That is known as tax. So on the income, government levies tax, and the tax levied on income of an individual or company is known as direct tax. There is one more type of tax collected by the government, that is known as indirect tax. This is the tax collected by the government on goods and services. Whenever we buy any goods or whenever we get any services from somebody, we have to pay for that. Say X amount, we have to pay. On this certain percentage again goes to government. And this money that government gets as tax from us is known as indirect tax. So now, what is meant by goods? We buy goods. So say we may be buying a car or a TV, or we may buy even some car parts or some electrical fittings. These are all physical items. These are known as goods. So whenever we buy such goods, government levies tax on that, that is indirect tax. Now, services means what? We have, say, let us say internet connection at home. We pay monthly charges on this. That is a service, internet service, that what we get from the internet service provider. So we have to pay tax on this. We may have some annual maintenance contracts for some of the equipment that what we have in our house, like say TV, again fridge. There is no physical part here, physical item here, but we pay the charges for the services. All these come under the services, and when we pay these people, portion of that goes as tax, and that is a service tax. So indirect tax consists of goods and services tax. Before we get into further details of GST, let us try to understand certain important terms related to sales transaction and tax calculation. So let us take an example. So there is a company A, that manufactures, say, fans. This company manufactures fans. The company does not sell directly to end customers. So what happens? The company sells in bulk to some people who are known as dealers. Dealers who buy fans in bulk, maybe in thousands, from the company who manufacture fans. The dealers also do not directly sell the fans to the end customers. So they will give it to people known as retailers. Dealers, you may have for a city 1 or 2 dealers, or a district maybe 1 dealer, but retailer is every electrical shop in every corner of the city or even a village. He is a retailer. This person sells the fans directly to the consumers or the end customers who use them. So consumers. Consumer does not sell further to anybody. He consumes, he uses those things. Now let us say company A, which manufactures fans, incurs a cost of rupees, let us say 700 per fan. The cost of manufacturing, the total cost of manufacturing of a fan is rupees 700. This is known as the cost price of the fan for company. But company wants to make some profit. So they keep a profit of rupees 100, suppose say, and they sell it to the dealer for rupees 800. Now rupees 800 is the selling price for the company, but it is the cost price for the dealer, because he incurs the cost of 800 rupees per fan when he buys from the company. Now the dealer sells it to retailer. So again, he wants to make some profit he too. So he keeps a profit of rupees 100 and he sells to the retailer at rupees, say, 900. So this is the cost price for retailer, but this is the selling price. This is the selling price for the dealer. Now the retailer, his cost price is 900. That means he has to pay 900 rupees to get the fan. So he wants to sell it at rupees 1000. He also wants to make profit of 100 rupees here. Now here this price tag will be put on the fan boxes. So this is known as the list price. That is the price written on these fan boxes. List price, or it is also known as the marked price. If you go to malls and if you want to buy shirts and you see the price tag on the shirts, that is list price or marked price. Same thing here for the fans. But a consumer may not like to buy at 1000. Consumers come and bargain. They say, no, I cannot buy at rupees 1000, give me a discount. So finally the retailer agrees to get discount. Say, he gives a discount of 5%. So what is 5% of 1000? Rupees 50. So discount percentage is 5%. Now discount value, 5% of 1000 is rupees 50. So he gives a discount of rupees 50. So what is the selling price? Selling price is always marked price minus discount. So that is 1000 minus 50. So it is rupees 950. So 950 is the selling price for the retailer, and consumer has to pay 950. But it is not just 950 consumer has to pay, because anything, any goods, if he has to buy, along with that he has to pay tax also. Let us say tax is at 10%. So 10% of 950. So tax is at 10%. 10% of 950 is 95. So total cost for the consumer is 950 plus 95. So that is how much? 1045 rupees. This is the total cost for the end customer, which is also sometimes known as landed cost. So what are the terminologies you understood here? You learned here CP. CP is the cost price. Cost price for different people here vary. So then selling price. Selling price also for different people, selling price is different. Finally, for the retailer, the selling price is here 950, and for consumer, that is the price he has to pay, but the total cost for the consumer is 950 plus 95, it is 1045. So selling price, and afterwards list price or marked price. You understood this? This is the price that this is the price at which retailer wants to sell the goods, but finally that cannot be the value at which he is selling, because he gives discount. You understood now what is by discount? That is discount percentage and discount value. The final selling price for the retailer is, here the selling price is mark price minus discount. And tax is calculated always on selling price. So this is the selling price, on this tax is calculated and then it's added to the selling price. That is the total landed cost for the consumer. Now let us understand a little more on GST. Till July 2017, in India we had different kind of taxes, indirect taxes, that is excise, then we had value added tax, VAT, then we had service taxes for services. So this is quite complex. It's very tedious for the end users, also all these middle people, that is dealers and retailers. So on July 1st 2017, government abolished all these taxes and brought in one tax, that is known as the GST, Goods and Services Tax, applicable all over India, every state. Now GST is known as a consumption based tax. What do you mean by consumption based tax? Whenever a goods is consumed or changes hand or get transferred from one person to another person, at that time tax is charged. That is either when the last customer buys the service or the goods, at that time tax is charged, or even in the middle when dealer or retailer buys them, even at that time GST is charged. So since it is charged when it is consumed or when it changes the hand, it is known as a consumption based tax. Now let us try to understand a little more on this. Let us go back to our previous example. So we will come back to this sale of fans. Now in this I explained, just make you to understand certain terminologies of sales. And here I calculate tax. Calculate tax, where it is, I calculate tax here. This is the tax calculation. 95 rupees tax we calculated. That is at the end of the transactions when consumer is buying from the retailer. But this is not how the tax gets calculated. So GST is charged, at every stage whenever the goods changes the hand. Here the goods changes hand multiple times. Initially the fan is with the manufacturer. Fan is with the manufacturer. It goes to dealer, from there to retailer, from there to consumer. So every time GST gets charged. Let us see how it happens. Now the company sells the fans to the dealer. Let us take as one fan. How many he buys we don't know. Let us take one fan. At what price he sells, company sells to the dealer? That is rupees 800. Let us take GST. GST is at 10% for the fans. Let us assume. So company sells to dealer at rupees 800. So at 10% GST, so what is the GST company charges to the dealer? That is rupees 80. It is the GST at this stage. So how much dealer has to pay to the company? That is 800, the cost of the fan, plus rupees 80 is the GST. So totally he has to pay rupees 80. But his actual cost is only 800. We'll come to that how it is, where this rupees 80 will get offset. Now dealer sells to the retailer for rupees 900. So at that time again the GST gets charged. Now for 900 rupees at 10%, the GST is rupees 90. Let me come back here. When the company charges rupees 80 GST and collects rupees 80 GST from the dealer, it deposits this rupees 80 with the government. So government gets now rupees 80 as the GST. Now here dealer charges rupees 90 as the GST. So the retailer has to pay how much? Rupees 990, because 900 as the charges and 90 rupees as the GST. But now company has to pay rupees 80 as the GST to the government, but dealer has to pay GST of rupees 10 only. So how it is calculated? Whatever the GST any person has to submit it to the given to the government is GST paid minus GST not paid, GST this is not correct. It is GST collected minus GST paid. What is the GST collected? GST collected is 90, GST paid here is 80. So he has to pay, dealer has to pay only rupees 10 as the GST to the government. So now retailer buys it and sells to the consumer. So it sells at what rate? That is at 950 rupees 950. So what is the GST here? So GST here is rupees 10% of that 95. But he has paid rupees 90 as the GST here while buying it from the dealer. So the GST he has to pay to the government is 95 minus 90 is equal to rupees 5 only. So in this entire chain, the total GST is 80 plus 10 plus 5 equal to rupees 95, same as the tax I calculated earlier. That does not change. But how the GST is charged and who pays to the government, how much, that varies. Hope you understood this GST calculation, even though this figure looks a little clumsy. Now, every company, that is, it is not just a company, every company, every dealer, retailer, all these people have to get registered and they must have registration, GST registration numbers. And they have to code these registration numbers whenever there is a transaction. All the invoices, our invoices, that what we get, they must have these registration numbers. Now we know that GST is consumption based tax. So what does it mean? When the transaction happens, when the sale transaction happens, that is when the consumption happens, at that time it is taxed. Now GST is also destination based consumption tax. This means the place of consumption of the goods and services decides who collects the GST. So the place of consumption, that decides who collects the GST. Who collects the GST? Either central government or state government. Now there are two scenarios in this case, that is when we consider place of consumption. Now the first one is known as intrastate. This means that the entire sale transaction is within one state. That means both the seller and the buyer are from same state. In such a case, the transaction is known as intrastate transaction. Let us consider our earlier example of manufacturing fans. Suppose the manufacturer is from Bangalore. Fans are manufactured in Bangalore. Now this person manufactures the fans and sells. So to whom? To the dealer. Dealer is in Mysore. Now both the places are in the same state, Karnataka. That is, the seller and buyer both are in the same state. Then this is a intra-state transaction. Now what does happen in this case? In such a case, that is intra-state transaction, GST is collected or it is deposited with both center and state at equal proportion. Now in our case of fans, we said GST is 10%. And when one fan was sold for rupees 800, rupees 80 was collected as the GST. The manufacturer who collects rupees 80 as the GST per fan, when he sells to the dealer, now he deposits this with 50% with the center, 50% with the state. So this is rupees 40 with the center and again rupees 40 with the state. Now GST collected by the center is known as CGST, center GST. GST collected by state, this is known as SGST, or sometimes also known as UGST if that is a union territory. If it is not a state, if it is a union territory, then that GST collected is known as UGST. So if the tax GST is at any place 18%, suppose the GST, then 9% is CGST goes to central and 9% goes to state. Now scenario 2. Interstate transaction. What does it mean by interstate transaction? This means seller and buyer, they are from different states, not same states. In our earlier case of fan manufacturing, if the fan manufacturer is from Bangalore, but he sells to a dealer in Chennai, then this is known as interstate transaction. Why? They are two different states. This is Karnataka and this is Tamil Nadu. So such a transaction is known as an interstate transaction. In such transaction, when interstate transaction happens, entire GST collected gets deposited with the center. State does not have any share of this. So such GST is known as integrated GST or IGST. So suppose if it is 18% GST, then entire 18% goes to center as IGST. But center may decide to distribute to states at a later stage, but collection is by center, or the seller has to deposit the entire GST collected with the center. Hope now you got a reasonably good understanding of GST and its complexities. Now what we have learned so far here. So first, what is tax? A portion of the earning or the portion of the goods and transaction payment has to go to government, that is tax. Then what is goods and services? Then what is GST? A single type of tax for the entire country. Then we also learned some of the typical sales transaction terminologies, that is CP, SP, mark price, discount, etc. Then GST calculation, how to calculate GST. And the last, the GST types, that is central GST, state GST and integrated GST. Now with this, I am sure you are ready to solve a couple of problems from this chapter.